something students struggle with in the Research Methods course is understanding how isolated concepts like inter-rater reliability or internal validity or random assignment work together. And one way to help them see how all these concepts work in concert is to walk them through examples of how to evaluate research in the real world. I've added 6 new worked examples in the text. They're called Working It Through. These sections are meant to be a model for students so they can see how we apply their newly learned concepts to classify and evaluate a real-world claim. For example, the Chapter 3 Working It Through feature has students evaluating a study that told young kids 2 versions of a story about scientists. In one version, 5th graders heard how the scientists struggled, and in the other, they heard how the scientists were brilliant. In the Working It Through table, students see in one column a list of questions they could ask about the study. In the second column, there are quotes or data that are relevant to each question. And in the third column, there's an interpretation of the quote or the data that they saw. There's a question, for example, about internal validity, which asks, was this study an experiment? Can we rule out alternative explanations? The next column presented a quote relevant to this question, and the last column explains why the study was an experiment and how this means it can rule out alternative explanations, such as students' original level of interest in science. Another example of Working It Through is in Chapter 11, where the example goes through the 12 internal validity threats, such as selection, maturation, regression, and so on, for a single experiment. And students are able to see how almost all of these threats can be ruled out in the example design. My hope is that when instructors use these Working It Through examples in class, their students will start to see how all these individual concepts that they're learning can work together to help them analyze a real-world example. And students can move beyond piecemeal memorization of isolated terms, and we can help them see how research concepts can be integrated when applied to real-world problems.